how's it going today? My name is Jillian. Welcome to the Quench Life podcast, and I am so excited to be ending 2020 by having JT from JT Chronicles. You might also know him as Mr. Positivity, coming to chat with us just about like a recap of 2020 and kind of hitting us so that we can start 2021 on a better page. You know, everyone.
Yes.
Screw this year.
How are you?
Why don't you start with, for those of us that don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about, like how you got started and what your mission is and what Mr. Positivity means?
My name is Jonathan Thompson, also known as JT's Chronicles, and it is all about positivity. Started the show way back after I had a road trip to Nashville, Tennessee, and I kind of, I'm not getting too deep into it, but, because, we're just talking. But I met my guardian angel, we'll say. And on a boat trip, and on a bus trip, and it was crazy. A lot of things happened, and on my trip back, I just had an epiphany, all these things. I literally did meet, I had a friend who passed away. His name was JT Delewis. He's from Howard. Motorcycle accident and born. And his mother gave me a card, and it had his prayer card on it.
Okay.
And then also my mother started reading from the Bible before I got on the bus. So I was going to Nashville, Tennessee to sing at the Grand Ole Opry. This is how this whole thing happened. I wrote a song for him. And somebody chose it, and like, oh, come down to Nashville. Like, all right, so give me my peanut butter and jelly sandwich and get on the bus, and I'm going to Nashville. If you ever take a bus trip, very enlightening. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
Crazy. You meet all kinds of people. But about 3:00 in the morning, you're going through all these little towns that you've never heard of in your entire life. And we get on in the spot and we stop. And this bum gets on the bus and he walks past me, and the bus driver looks at me. He's like, we kind of look at each other because we know there's only about 20 people left on the bus. I figured he's going to go wait in the back of the bus, lay down, sleep on the long bench in the back. Something made me get up, took my bag out of my seat, put it on the ground, and this guy came right back and he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Can I sit here?"
Right.
I'm like, okay. So he sat down. He started talking how he's a handyman and carpenter, and he does this work on all these, naming these country celebrities. I go, okay, I know that one. Then he started talking about the Bible. So he's reciting this verse as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And he's talking about that. That's on the prayer card that's in my bag.
Okay.
That's also the same passage that my mother read to me before I got on the bus. And then he goes back to music. So this is our whole hour conversation on a bus. And I'm just listening to him. I'm not saying a word. It's in my ear. And he gets off and he goes, "You're going to be fine." I'm like, okay. And he just smiled at me and he got off the bus. And so I was like, "You good?" Like, "I'm good." And the guy but I have this like very calming feel over me right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't try to tell anybody to believe in whatever one believe. That's your choice. But he's standing outside the bus staring at me. Now it's about 4:00 in the morning. Nobody's open yet because it's still early. Huge parking lot. Nobody's there. He's just staring at me like this through the window. And I kind of waved. And we decided to drive off. And then we turn around and we don't see him anywhere in the parking lot. Even if he went left, swear, if he went left, right, straight or back, we would have seen him. Nowhere in the parking lot. So I just it just came out of me.
Yeah.
It just completely just came out of me. I got to my hotel, called my mother, and she started crying. She's like, "I just think you met your guardian angel." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I did too." And once I opened that up again, and I was like, all right, so I'm not going to waste my life. Period. Like some people need these big, things to happen in life. Well, I need something else to tell me I need to do something. I'm like, dude, the fact that you woke up, that's huge. That's huge. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
Right.
So let's go.
Yeah.
It's like you work out, you get up, you get people going. That's what you do.
Right.
Right.
That's a phenomenal story. And thank you for sharing that because that's just amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I don't know what else to say.
That's what opening up. We're kicking the door open. That's how it is. You want to know how I got here?
Right.
That's how I got here. Plus with some great parents,
Yeah. So that epiphany is what created you to just like dive into the community and like be the power force that you are, or like.
Yeah, I used to be in a boy band back in the day. So I did the roller skating, the break dancing, and all that stuff. I
What
had
was
some
the name of
friends.
the boy band? Hold on.
Okay. The name of my group was called The Young Generation.
Okay.
All right. So me, Troy, Melvin, Melvin Ewing, Kippy Diggs. Well, actually, Kippy Diggs was with us for a little while. Brian Donaldson, Joe Burks, Vincent Bade, and Brian. So it was a bunch of Charlie Williams. And so we were break dancing and roller skating when we had the 2 roller skating rinks. I have no idea if you were here back then, but it was great.
A little later than that.
Yeah. What are you, 21? All right, we'll give you, something like that. And so at our time, our manager ended up being Johnny Wright, who was the manager for Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys, all that stuff. So he lived here. So I was in his weddings. That was my neighbor. So we did all that stuff. We had a good time. And then I used to open up our group, Young Generation. We used to open up for New Kids on the Block and Run DMC. And we're doing like Tiffany. We're doing all this stuff. And it was just awesome. And we did stuff in the community. So I was kind of already involved, but not to this extent. Oh yeah, I was just wearing my Z Cavariccis and some of my sweatpants and my shirts that zippered here and then flapped over. That was hot. That said Italian boy style, whatever it was at that time.
That's awesome. Those are all great stories. So why positivity? Like, why did positivity take over your life, and why do you feel like you need to share that with us?
I just felt blessed that I was actually have the opportunities I've had. There's so many different things, with my friend Tim Luce and I, obviously one of my best friends since he was 8, and it was just I saw the reaction of people, and it was a very good feeling. It wasn't because I was like doing something because I wanted something. It was just I did it because I was like, what would I want at this age, or what would I want like to make me happy today?
Right.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll do a team dance, or maybe we'll go down here and we do like a fundraiser or talent show. So we were doing all these things, and I loved seeing the reaction. I was like, oh my God, we had a great time. And they pass that on to another person, just like a virus. Virus spreads every time you connect with somebody. That's how I wanted this positivity to be. And when I had that bus trip and I met my guardian angel, I'm like, all right, I got to go full steam ahead.
Right.
Like, this is like, okay, so let's make it happen. And I just got into it. And then when the boys had passed away also, the car accident, 3 boys from the Cape, I knew all their families, all their friends, great. And Brian Morrison and I, we did the vigil on Main Street in Hyannis. And it just kept going. Like, everything just kept speaking through me. I have a great grandfather who was a pastor at a church from Barbados, and then in Cambridge, and the Dartons. And it just keeps coming through me. So I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm alive. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like once you kind of find what that thing is, it doesn't take a lot to make it keep kind of snowballing and make it better.
And it's good when you're in a happy mood, when you're in a good mood, and you start pumping up and getting these ladies pumped up for working out. Woo! And 3, and 4, and 5, and 1, and 2. So when you do that, you're pumping them up. All right. So when I do that, it's the same thing. Right. You're passing on that positivity. You can't but you can't help but get excited and get involved in it and like be part of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you do that. You're doing your own spreading positivity and helping out.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the nod. So
Absolutely.
Can you tell us, like, what does positivity mean for you? Like, what is that? I feel like there's so many people all over the place these days of, trying to create your best life. And, some of it's a little bit overwhelming. And for people that don't know, like every morning you post a video, depending on the day, of like kicking off the day and getting everybody going. Like, how do you, what does positivity mean for you? Like, how do you define that for yourself?
I try to tell people that, and understand this, that first 20 minutes that you wake up in the morning, that's when everything is like, it's just alive, okay? You're just alive. Your brain's alive. Your body's alive, and you don't want to pollute it yet, okay? It's like a newborn baby is not polluted right now. That's why they can sense that, good people and bad people, just like animals sense all that. So when first thing in the morning you get up, don't go to your Facebook and don't go to all that stuff, because that's going to pollute you with other things that are negative, unless you're going to go to something directly positive. But that first 20 minutes is what dictates how you want to treat your day. You should be excited. So for me, it's, all right, I'm going to take control of this day. Things happen all the time. That's life. This pandemic, nobody planned that. At least put it this way, we didn't plan that. You know what I mean? we didn't plan that.
Yeah.
So it's made people slow down
Right.
and think, okay, so I don't care how much money you have. I don't care where you live. This is affecting everybody.
Right.
Okay. So and everything that's happened over the time of the year, and people are like, oh, what do you mean this is what's going on? Like all the different, the Black Lives Matters and health and this, that, because everybody had their own path. I don't fault anybody because if this is your world is all about working out.
Right.
So you're looking at nutrition, looking at new equipment, you're getting the stuff up and mortgage and paying this and that. You're living. So this is your lane, right? So I'm doing this over here. Now, you might not know about what's going on in my lane because you're not really focused on that. You have 24 hours in the day, you're getting up doing this, this, and this. So when this whole pandemic slowed people down, like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, what's really important to you? What's really important to you? That's when your priorities start to change. If you don't leave this pandemic, come out of this mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger, then you just wasted like 10 months.
Sure.
110%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you've got to
slow down was a lot for people because
huge.
You're always going, always doing. So that morning time that you take, is there like a special or specific, schedule of things that you do? Do you just like get your coffee and just ignore everybody for 20 minutes, or what does that look like for you?
First off, I drink decaf tea. I do not drink coffee. I can't drink coffee. I can't do caffeine. And actually, this is just immune tea.
Okay.
I've been drinking for like 8 months. Or hot water, vinegar, lemon, apple cider vinegar, lemon, honey. Drink that. I get up and it's just quiet.
Right.
I purposely get up earlier just so I can have that time.
Sure.
So that's what you got to do. You got to get that time for you, so you can get your head clear and wrapped around. Okay, all right, what am I going to do today? What do I have to do today?
Sure.
So before you go to bed, sometimes you might be like, all right, so tomorrow I'm going to do laundry and I'm going to go pay some bills and I'm going to get a quick workout in. So that energy you have before you go to bed, hardest thing to do is wake up with that same drive.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go, I'm going to do it. So you have to, I write it on a board. I have that right next to my bed. So when I open my eyes, I'm like, boom. All right, that's right there. All right, let's go. And you get up. So yourself, I meditate. I get my tea. If I talk to anybody, it's the cats because they got the same routine. They got the same routine with me. They're staring at me at 4:30 from the door.
Right.
If I'm not up by 4:40, she's like here. Feed them. I go to the bathroom. The other one, it's crazy. I have to open the window for one. He jumps in the window, sits in.
Yeah.
He's breathing.
Meditating.
It's just me and the two cats, me, Mocha, and King. And the other one comes and wraps around my legs. And we get up and we go eat.
Yeah.
And I think about, okay, what am I doing today? I listen to some other podcasts sometimes, motivational, like Les Brown, or I'll do like an ET, or anybody that's I'm feeling on different topics. What I'm feeling. Maybe I have stuff going on in my life that I'm just spewing out.
Yeah, working through or whatever, for sure.
Oh yeah, trust me, I got issues. I have issues like everybody else.
We all do. just
right?
How much time we have on the podcast to discuss them.
Absolutely, and right, exactly. And how much do you want to take with you for the whole day?
Right. And I think that's a lot too, is you kind of set your mind up and your mind right for, I agree with you saying, like, you look at your phone and you're like, something pisses you off. Like, you haven't even gotten out of bed yet and you saw something that was negative, and now that's going to you might not feel it, but it's there. And I think that, like, a lot of people
100%.
don't realize that it's just in the back of your brain taking up space, which might not always be the best thing.
Right. And it happens. So, I see certain people at work, I give them the Heisman. I give them just the Heisman trophy is like this, holding the football, arms like that, bam. I give people that at work or when I see them out, because I know they're full of negativity.
Right.
JT, I'm like, hey, what's happening? I'll see you in a little while. I got to go. I will keep walking.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, nothing coming out of their mouth is going to be good right now.
Right.
And I'm it. And you see that phone, and you're like,
yeah.
I'm not going to answer Sarah's call right now.
Yeah.
No, because those people don't want to get fixed. They don't want solutions. They just want to complain.
Yeah. They just want somebody to listen to them.
Thank you. Exactly. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what is your feedback for people that were like, thank God 2020 is coming to an end and we're kicking off a new year? Like, do you really feel like 2020 was such a horrible year? I feel like you've done a ton. For people that don't know, JT's been hosting Friday night dance parties. When did you guys start that?
Angel and myself, we started that March, about March. And it was for the kids that we are dealing with in our Wellfleet. Angel works in for the Wellfleet rec department, and
Yeah.
so we were doing dance parties up there. But then the rec was like, "Can you guys do a virtual one like for the kids?" Because they had nothing else going on, and we were supposed to do one. I'm like, "All right." So we did it for a couple of classes. Then we're doing it for kids in Braintree, then Marlboro, and I heard about it and they saw it. And then the parents were watching because they're watching the kids and they're listening to some of the music, and we're doing some discos and like, "Hey, can you guys play some more of that stuff? Can you I keep going?" And so Angel's like, "I'll just go on Facebook and just go live." I'm like, all right.
You've been doing that since March. I mean, I was telling JT before we started that there's a few Friday nights that I've had my wine.
Yes.
And like you go by, I'm like, "Oh, what's he playing?" And then like I stop. You're like, "Oh, it's my jam." It's such a great thing. Like, what a cool, simple idea. And I love reading everybody's comments. Like,
right.
This is my song, play this. Just talking to each other. I mean, everybody's like so thrilled, and it's like a party that we're all there for, but nobody's there for.
Right. It's the only nightclub left in the United States right now, basically legally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. And we have, we've had drive-by dancers, people that we know, they're like, "Are you guys still on?" They're like, "Well, no." Oh, they're like, "Well, I'm watching you." And all of a sudden we see lights in the driveway, like, they got their mask on. Could be like a foyer area. And all of a sudden they come in. And so we'll just move away, let them come dancing.
Yep. That's awesome.
Like 1 or 2 songs, and then it's awesome. And people send virtual tips. And it's first, we do it for free.
Yeah.
They send pizzas. They send wine.
I love that. So what tips can you give us? Like, I don't think that we need to create crazy goals for 2021.
No.
So like, what can I do to just, be better? Just be better. Like, what are your, positivity tips on that you think that we could all do a little better?
I think respect for one another is huge. So I call it the cure. In fact, you said that because I actually am working on this right now. So I think it's communication, understanding, respect for everyone. So that's my cure, CURE. And you want to ask me a question about anything about health, anything about Black Lives Matter, anything about politics, and whatever the question is that you're interested in. Like, I think everybody should like be calm, like, "Oh, all right, you want to know something? Let me tell you. I'm going to ask you, how you feel," and that helps the conversations, because once we start doing that, it makes things a little bit better. Like, you don't have to agree with everybody. Everybody has to be the same page and sing Kumbaya and holding hands. The point is, respect me. I'm going to respect you. That's how we should all do this.
Right.
Move forward. Now you said, okay, well, I've been home. How many people have done some cleaning, got out the basement? I cleaned the basement twice and got rid of some things.
Yeah.
When you get less clutter in your life, your mind's gonna be a little better, gonna be a little clearer. We all have gifts. I don't care who you are.
So,
you want right.
So tell me the cure again. So we're using that acronym like towards situations that we're in. So what is it one more time? I'm sorry.
It's communicate.
Okay.
Understand.
Mm-hmm.
Respect.
Yep.
For everyone.
I love that.
And that's what I coined it. I wrote it. I got it coming out, and we got some stuff, and there's gonna be a whole series on that.
Right.
So I definitely would like to. I'm definitely gonna share with you because you're awesome.
Totally. Yeah. I think learning how to communicate is one of the biggest things that we kind of, everything has been so crazy, and getting back to the roots of just talking to one another and being patient. And I totally agree with that we might not always be right, but our 2 cents should be at least listened to.
Exactly. And then you're like, hey, okay, if you don't, you don't. I've lost friends this year.
Yeah.
Because of certain things, whether it's, political or this, that, and the other. I'm like, man. So then you think like, well, what were you thinking about me all these years?
Right.
You know what I mean? So things like, but and you got to reset.
Yeah.
Because your life is way too important.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So for everything that you do within the community, as a Cape Cod community, is there anything in particular that you feel like we could do better or bring to the table better for you?
I like the way it actually is going. I'm seeing more positive things going on. There was always positive things going on in the community, but the fact we have social media now, people get to share that a lot more. And it's good. But sometimes you want to see more people. These younger kids need to see that because their parents might not be doing it because they might be working, they might have their own beliefs or whatever. But the younger kids that write me or that watch me on Instagram or different, YouTube, stuff like that, and they start following, that's good. Because I mean, I could go viral doing something negative, like putting whipped cream all over my chest and, with Twizzlers on it. Like, oh my God, that I won't. I'm just letting you know that could happen.
2 years coming. You don't know what's going to happen.
This is very true. It could be that Honey Jack Daniels is crazy. But the TD Bank thing was huge. And shout out to my girl, Brienne Lauder, for nominating me for, community activist. And that video was at like one of the places, it's at like 6.2 million.
Wow.
And it's crazy. And then the Kevin Bacon thing with Footloose.
Yep, that was cool. I remember that. So you did it in the locker room at Cape Cod Hospital. You danced to Footloose, right?
I danced to Footloose, and it was for a friend of mine, two friends that were on their road trip going to Atlanta to pick up their child right when the whole pandemic was coming down. Jack and Alicia. And so I did it for them. And then my sister-in-law, Jen, shared it and put it on her Twitter, and she tagged Kevin Bacon. My sister-in-law has like 4 friends. Apparently, Kevin Bacon saw it, loved it, and then he wrote me a message, tagged it, and then he shared it on his page. And that was how the whole thing has happened with, and Casey Sherman, the writer, my boy, he's a good friend, and he called the Herald. And
yeah. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do so much awesome community work, and it's so cool to see and watch how it's.
Thank you.
You're changing lives every single day with every touch that you make, and that's just
I appreciate that.
A cool thing. So my last question that I'm going to ask you is, like, going into 2021, we're going to focus on the cure. Do you have any other little tips for us to just be better every day? Wear
spandex all day.
Okay.
That say quench right across the
right.
Boom. I see nothing wrong with that. I want you to start your resolution now. I want you to think about what you want to do. I mean, people say it, but you have to reset every day. And it's like, oh, I don't want to do this today. Sure. You have to. You actually have to do this because your mind is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So the more you do that and say to yourself, and like I said, that first 20 minutes is really strong. So you might have to reset 5 times a day. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And you have to write it on the board and put it in front of your face. So when you wake up, you know what I mean? And go to sleep. And I'm like, that's my last thing. Calm yourself down before you go to sleep. Don't be sitting there following people on Instagram or YouTube, whatever it is. Calm your nerves. And like, okay, this is what I want tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wake up and that's what's in front of me.
Yeah. And then just go. Just get it done, right?
Go. Yes.
The quicker you get it over, the better.
Pull that Band-Aid. Get it going.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it so much for you taking the time out to come and chat with us here on the podcast today. I really, really do appreciate it. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I hope that you have a great time. Are you having a dance party next?
We are. We're having Christmas, which is ought to be paid. So, you're going to have a drink and watch us. We are doing a New Year's Eve party. We're going to be doing it somewhere else. We have invites from other people and businesses. So we'll do the parties right from there. We might have to do a party when it gets warmer.
Outside, yeah, we party all the time. We brought DJs in to do spin classes. We try to keep it as entertaining as we can.
I love it. I saw you outside. I was driving by one day. I'm like, that's where Quench is. Cause I heard, let's go, girls. I was like, okay.
We appreciate it.
Oh my God, absolutely. So, just keeping it forward. So it's one love, one family, one community. So I mean it. I love it. And we share that every day. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great New Year's Eve, and we will chat with you next week.
There's so much information about what women should be doing to stay fit and healthy, it makes it hard to know what information is right. Join me, Jillian Russo, every Wednesday as I interview women who have finally made themselves a priority. Each episode contains inspirational stories from women just like you who have had enough and have decided to make health and fitness part of their everyday lives. I'll also be inviting other health and wellness professionals to share their stories and provide tips on health, nutrition, wellness, life, and much more.